Hey guys, Kayan01 here back with another video. So I guess I was like kind of nervous to make this video. So in today's video I'm going to tell you the story of me being bullied. So I remember in junior infants I was 5, don't ask me how I remember that. But there was this boy called, I'm not going to say his name actually, we'll call him Tom. So Tom gave out to me for many reasons, but I was too young to actually understand what was going on, so I just left him off like anyone would do, and I just minded my own business. After that year, he seemed very nice, which I thought was weird, and it was like that up until second class. That's when it got bad. I don't exactly know how it happened because I can't really remember that far back. Well, I don't know how it happened, but the whole class just turned on me. I think it started with the class clown, and I really want to say his real name because he doesn't really deserve any respect from me after all he's done, but I'm going to be the bigger person here and I'm not going to say his name, but I will use his first initial, and we'll call him Carter. So Carter always disliked me, and when the time of the Lion Guard came around, that was the happiest, kind of month of my life. And I was telling everybody about it in school, and then he found the opportunity. I was always kind of the loner of the class. From senior infants upwards, I was always a loner. That's also where the inspiration of the story of Loner came from. I was always a loner. I didn't have any friends in the class because they all hated me, and my only friend, we'll get to her later. I'll actually tell you that later. So Carter always hated me, and when he found out that I liked the Lion Guard, he was like, now we have an opportunity. So he always came up to me and was like, the Lion Guard is for babies and so is the Lion King, you're such a baby, you're watching 5-year-old shows. What else do you watch? Don't mix stuff in. So I was like, yeah, I actually do because I actually like it. Because I was just being nice. I thought he was being nice. And then he full on turned on me and he got the full class against me. Then there was this girl, we'll call her, starts with L, we'll call her Lila. Lila then turned on me and she always gave out to me, and I didn't know what to do. I ended up most breaks crying my eyes out because of her. First she did what Carter was doing with Lion King is for babies, blah blah blah, Dom McStuffins, blah blah blah. So she took on after him and she got her gang on me. I really remember this day because it was the day I cried the most. It was a small break and we weren't allowed on the grass because it was a muck field out there. And then she was like, hey guys, let's make Jenna cry. And I didn't know this, right? I was playing with we'll call this girl Eden. She was very nice to me after the whole class turned on me. She said this girl needs a friend. So she said, you know what, I'll play with you. So I said, okay, thanks for playing with me. And then I saw Lila and her friends, we'll call her Amaya, because why not? We'll call her Amaya. And Sahara. Keep in mind I'm using their first initials, so if they're watching my channel, they know who they are. They know who they are. They know the pain they've caused me. So And Maya and Sahara, they started walking along with Lila, and I was like, hey guys, you're not allowed on the grass. The teacher said it. And they said, we don't care. And I was like, guys, if you don't want to get in trouble, I would say get off the grass. And then I don't really know how they started to make me cry, but the point is they made me very upset again. And I was crying. And then Adan, I said her name. Oh god, what was I calling her? Eden, yeah. You didn't hear it, okay. Eden said, guys, what was that for? And then they were like, for entertainment purposes. Meanwhile, I was bawling my eyes, and this girl, we'll call her Charlotte, she came over and she was like, what have you done to her? And here was Layla, we made her cry. I was like, why'd you do that? Because I felt like it, because we all wanted to see it happen. And then Amaya came over and she was like, oh my god, that was so wrong, I'm so sorry. I thought it would be fun to do this, but I'm so sorry. This is wrong, I realise that now, and I'm so sorry I did this to you. So I was bawling my eyes out at this stage. Then Charlotte said, let's go away, but Eden stayed with her, and they were like, are you alright? And I was like, no, they've been doing this for months, they've always been at me, they've been at me for ages and stuff like that. And they were like, don't worry, we'll tell the teacher. But the teachers, they weren't much help either. They said, oh, that's alright, okay, can you apologise? Great, now you're all friends again. They wouldn't do anything about it. You're all friends again, alright, so let's stop this now and go play with each other again. 5 seconds later, they start going at me again. The teachers were useless. They were useless in that school, I'm telling you. They're like, they shouldn't even be called teachers, because what are they doing? They're not helping the child who's being bullied, you know? So Charlotte was like, do you want to tell the teacher? I was like, no, they're not going to do anything about it, so what's the point? I should just stay quiet. And they were like, girl, you have to tell them. Like, I was like, I told them before, they didn't do anything about it. They just said, let's all be friends again and everything will be fine. Well, look what happened, they're still after me. And she was like, I know. She was like, you got a point, but you still need to tell them. So, told the teacher, said, don't worry, it's fine. They're probably just having a bad day. It's like, is this teacher for real? Having a bad day, making me cry? Yeah, sure, girl. So then, big break came. And of course, I was on my own as usual. And then one of the teachers spotted me and she was like, who are you playing with? I was like, oh, I'm playing with no one. Nobody likes to play with me. So I just normally take a walk around and just play by myself. I pretend I'm a lion. And she was like, you need to find someone to play with. I was like, nobody wants to play with me. So I just play by myself. She decided to put me with the bullies and the rest of the class. And I was like, no, thank you. But she wouldn't listen. I was like, I don't want to play with them. She was like, I'll be great fun. And I was like, no. So then we were playing a game called line tag, which I misheard and I thought they said 9 tag. So I didn't know we had to stay on the lines, and they were like, you're cheating. And I was like, it's called 9 tag. They were like, no, it's a line tag. That means you have to stay on the line. And I was like, oh, I didn't know. And then Laura, oh, sugar. Yeah, anyway, you know who she is now. If she's watching, she knows who she is. Then Lila said, why don't you play with me? And I was like, okay. I didn't really want to, but she literally grabbed me by the arm and forced me. So then I caught her, and then she kind of pushed me a little bit when she caught me, and I said, ow, and she was like, you don't have to shout. I was like, and I was like, I'm sorry, Lila, but that hurted me. And then she was like, you don't have to shout, I'll say it again. She started walking off. I said, I'm sorry, I shouted after her. And then she just gave me a look, and she gave me the middle finger. So then I sat down on the bench crying, and Charlotte came back over, and she was like, what happened? I was like, Lila came after me. She made me cry, and I said, oh, that hurted when she kind of pushed me. And then I said, And then after I shouted, I said, I'm sorry, Layla, but that hurted. And then she was like, and she walked off and she was like, don't worry, girl, we'll find Layla now and we'll give her a piece of, and I'll give her a piece of my mind. So then we went to find her, and just my luck, the bell rang for us to go back in. I was bawling my eyes out. There was always this other girl, we'll call her, we'll call her, we'll call her Elena. So Elena was very mean to me as well. She called me slow, she called me stupid. If you don't know what I mean by slow, I mean that, like, you're so slow, as in you're stupid. She called me the B word. She always gave me the middle finger. She always tried to get me to give her my chocolate because, you know, she wanted it for herself. She always made fun of me as well. She was with the group of bullies. So there was also this girl, we'll call her Kitty. She was always very mean as well. She acted like my friend, but she turned out to be a bully as well, and she always joined sides with Layla. And literally the whole class went against me, and I was just the loner of the class, and I was the target. I had no friends, and my friend, we'll call her Ari. I thought she was my friend, but when I was getting bullied, she wasn't there for me, was she? No. She stayed out of my way. I stayed out of hers. And then when the bell rang, we went back in, and Charlotte came up and told the teacher, and then she was like, Jenna come up to me, and I started bawling straight away. And she was like, what happened down on yard today? Obviously she wasn't going to do much about it because the teachers in that school are like terrible. They're just like, say sorry now, that's it, we'll all be friends again, off we go. 5 seconds later, what are they doing? Picking on you again. So I'm there bawling, and I tell her all the events that had happened, and she was like, Amaya, Layla, Sahara, come up here and we'll talk, and I want to talk to you. And then Amaya said, I apologised straight away after, because I realised it was wrong after I'd done it. And then the teacher said, I'm proud of you, Amaya, for doing that. But the rest of you, I am highly disappointed in you. I don't want any. And then she raised her voice and she said, lads, we all turned our attention to her. And she said, I don't want anybody coming in from here crying, alright? So anyone who's having a go at each other, stop it now. That's all she did. They came at me again the next day. Guess what? The class younger than me, first class, even they joined in. I started with this girl that I thought was my friend. We'll call her Skipper. And she was terrible. I really want to use her real name because she doesn't deserve my respect at all. Her and another girl that I'm going to call Sally. Skipper and Sally don't deserve my respect at all. I tried to be friends with them when I was younger. When nobody would play with them, I played with them. Nobody in the class liked them either. Until they started being cool, i.e. bullying me. They made friends with the bullies. They were like, oh yeah, let's go bully her together. First it started with making faces at me, pranking me, which I didn't really mind the pranks, but the faces, calling me a B word, telling me she doesn't like me, coming right into my face, giving out to me, telling me that I'm worthless, I'm pathetic, I'm nothing, I shouldn't be here. Just do a favour and get rid of yourself. Nobody wants you here. I mean, why do you think nobody in your class likes you? Why do you think nobody in our class likes you? Because you're nothing, you're worthless, you're stupid. You're too childish. If you were a child, you should be back in nappies. If you want to watch Disney Junior, you should be back in nappies. And it was like, why can't you just leave me alone? We all like what we like. And I'm not worthless. I'm not stupid. I'm not nothing. But they didn't care. I felt like I was nothing. I felt like I was worthless. I felt like I shouldn't even exist. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. I felt weak, alone, and like nothing, worthless, and like the world would be better off without me. Keep in mind, this was before I started my channel, so you guys have really changed me, and I can't thank you enough for that. If you guys weren't giving me the support that I have, I probably wouldn't even be here today. I probably would be, dead. I wouldn't have found a love for animating. I wouldn't have found a love for so many Disney Junior shows and so many Disney Channel shows like Girl Meets World. That the comedy in that is gold, and I love it. So I really can't thank any of you enough for all your support. But I remember I was out on a yard and the 5th class girls, I was in second still. No, I was in third, or maybe second. Second was when it was at its highest peak it has ever been. So I was there with my fidget spinner just spinning it. No, it was 3rd class. I remember now, yeah, it was 3rd class just spinning it. And then the 4th class, or 4th or 5th class girls came over and they were like, what's wrong? I was like, Sally and Skipper gave out to me and they told me I was worthless and I was nothing and I was stupid and I shouldn't be here. So then I told the teacher, and this teacher was actually a good teacher. She was actually a good teacher, and she was like, if I hear this happening again, you'll be finding yourself in the principal's office now, lads. Alright? So cut this out. That made me feel somewhat better, but they came back again and they wouldn't leave me alone. It came to the point where my parents were in a lot of times, but obviously the teachers did nothing about it. I was still alone. I felt like I was worthless and nothing and everything. Then I just felt like so alone, so worthless, pathetic, useless, everything. I just felt terrible about myself. Like I didn't belong. And when I was born, I almost died. I was 2.5 pounds and I almost died. And back then I felt like maybe I should have died right then. Maybe I shouldn't have won the battle. Maybe I shouldn't have won the battle to near death. I probably should have just been defeated. But then after a while I said that I won the battle between life and death because I'm needed for something. And I don't know what that is, but I think I'm needed for something. So then after third class, after being bullied and everything, my family said we need to move her to another school because I'm not putting up with this anymore. I'm making life a living hell for her, and that's not on. I can't let that be happening. And they don't explain half the homework either. They're just a terrible school, and that's where all the bullies are. So Carter decided to have another final go at me, and of course I left it happen because that's before I had any confidence at all in myself. And then we'll go back to Ari. Before I moved, and I was just spending my last 3 weeks there before the Halloween break, Ari came up to me and she said, I'm sorry, but not sorry to tell you this. I don't want to be your friend anymore because nobody likes you, and that's bad for my reputation because everybody likes me. And I was like, you were never there for me anyway. What happened when I was getting bullied? You were never there for me. She was like, I advise you shut your mouth now before this goes ugly. I can easily beat you up. So I left that and I was like, okay, and I walked away, and just a lot of things happened to me in that school. A lot of things, and it made me feel so bad about myself. I felt terrible about myself. But when I moved to that school, I instantly had friends. They accepted me for who I was. Even all the boys disapproved, they still decided to be friendly with me. And I can't thank them enough for that because, yeah, when we came into 5th and 6th, they actually started to hate me, and other girls hated me because they were just really mean, but we won't talk about them because I had friends in 5th class. I had friends, and when I was in 4th class, they accepted me. When I was in 5th class, they started to hate me. Everyone started to hate me. In 4th class, the girls hated me, but that's okay because I had friends in 5th class. And no, friends in 3rd class. Then we went into 5th and 6th. I had friends that were girls because they were a nice friend group. Then they left to go on to secondary school. Then I went into 6th. My friends were in 5th. They were 2 boys, but we'll leave them off that. We liked that. They were friendly. That's all I needed. And not only that, the whole school accepted me for who I was. Juniors, seniors, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, they all accepted me. Not one bully was there. Not one. I actually felt so much happier, and I couldn't wait to get to school every morning. But when I came to 5th class, I kind of started getting those same feelings again. Not because I was being bullied, but because the teacher, I didn't like him. he was very strict. He was also very funny, but he was strict, and he was teaching loads of stuff that I didn't know. And then when Cole was in a life or death situation where he actually ended up losing the battle, unlike me, he put a lot of pressure on me, and I would always go into the bathroom to cry because I just felt worthless and useless and so on again. I felt all of that, and I was in there for a good half hour nearly, and when I came back out, nobody questions it. They were probably just like, oh, she had probably had a pain in her stomach or something. But that happened daily, and then in 6th class I got bullied again, but it was alright because the teacher actually dealt with it, unlike my other teachers. He actually dealt with it. They just said, we'll all be friends again, now go play. And then 5 seconds later they come bully. He talked for like a good hour. He talked for a good hour about it. And I felt so much better knowing that the teachers would actually do something here, and I wouldn't have to, put up with it anymore. So, to Carter, Sahara, Lila, all of you who came at me, Ari, all of you, do you know what you can do with yourselves? You can go feck off. If you found a new target, I suggest you leave them alone, because this is just because you have a problem at home or something. You just don't feel good about yourself, so you decide to not make others feel good about themselves. So that's not fair. That is not on. You are disgusting human beings for doing that. Anyone who bullies people, I'm just disgusted with you. I mean, how could you do this to another human being? I know what it's like to be bullied. I don't want anybody to ever have to deal with that ever again. I know I don't want my kids to go through that. If they do, I am marching up to their school and I'm going to kill those teachers. I'll be like, this is not on now. I don't want my child to be bullied anymore, so you better sort something out now. I'm telling you, you're in for it. If you ever know anyone who's getting bullied or is depressed or feels really bad about themselves, do whatever you can to help. Because it's just bad not to have anyone there for you. I know what it's like to have no one there for you. To be alone. To be a loner. To feel unwanted, worthless, useless, pathetic, nothing. I shouldn't even exist. I know what those feelings are like. And I don't want anybody to ever feel like that. Because it's not fair. I don't want anybody to have those feelings because it's not fair to anyone. To my bullies, you know what? If you hadn't, here's a bright side to it. If you hadn't bullied me, I never would have went to my other school. I never would have the courage to stand up for myself now. So in a way, I guess, kind of thank you, but no thank you, you know? Also, Charlotte and Elena and Kitty, and Amaya, they all came up to me, and they, one time when I was walking my dog, and they were like, how are you getting on in your new school? And I was like, I'm getting on great, thank you. I have so many friends, and everybody actually accepts me for who I am. At that, Elena and Maya and was there someone else? I actually don't even know. Anyway, they just looked away and looked down. And she was like, and here was Charlotte, I'm so glad to hear that. And I'm really glad you're getting on so well. And I was like, thank you, Charlotte. And they were like, and she was like, you know, after you left, the classroom just went full on dull. Because you were the beacon of light in there, always making everybody laugh, always laughing at everything. You were the life of the classroom. But when you left, we felt really bad they felt really bad for what they've done. I gave them a talking to after I realised you were gone for good, and I knew the card that you gave me was not a prank. I gave them a good talking to, and they actually regret what they've done. And they were like, tell her. And they were like, yeah, you were the light of the classroom, and after we realised that you left, we felt really, really bad. We never wanted to do that to you. I was like, well, you did. You made me feel bad. You made me feel like I was useless, nothing, worthless. At one point, you made me want to take my life. That's a lot of pain that you can inflict on someone. And they were like, yeah, we know, we're sorry. You clearly don't know. The only way to know is if you go through with it yourself. So you don't know. And Charlotte actually sided with me for once. Someone actually sided with me, and she was like, she's right. You guys don't know how much pain you caused her. And neither do I, but I don't want you to treat anybody like that ever again, because otherwise it's just not fair. One of these days a child could actually take their life because of you. So you need to stop. And then they continued on their way, and I said bye to Charlotte, and I didn't even look at the other girls. I continued walking my dog, and that was it. So that's my story. I don't know what else to say, but if you guys, like, seriously guys, if you know someone who is being bullied and needs help, something like that. Just do everything you can. I don't want them to go through the pain that I went through. I don't want my child to go through the pain that I went through. I don't want anybody else to go through it. Number 1, it's not fair. 2, it's cruel. 3, you need to raise your kids better, lads. Don't let them be doing this to other kids. It's not fair. So everyone, that's my story time of when I was bullied. But seriously, guys, I know I said this like 5 times already. Do everything you can, please. Not only I would appreciate it, the people who are being bullied will highly appreciate it. They could cry because of you. If you see someone either getting beaten up, being bullied, being slammed against a locker or something, step in or get a teacher. Show them it in the act. Record it on your phone and show it to the teacher so you have proof. But I would step in and tell them to back off. I'll tell them to back off and leave the person alone. I am not dealing with any bullies ever again. If they come at me, that is it. I'm standing my ground. I hope you guys can learn from this video that to stand up for yourself and don't let anybody bully you. Don't let anyone push you around. You are your own person. Be proud to be who you are. You are who you are, and you are amazing. So whatever anybody says about you, that's probably because they're jealous, because they're not like you. They're probably not like as joyful or as happy or as creative as you are. And they want to be like that, so they try to shoot you down. So then they can feel so much better about themselves. Just promise me, guys, that you'll always stand up for yourself. You'll always try to get help for other people. And you'll never stop being who you are. Because who you are is amazing, and there's only one of you. Sure, there's doppelgangers, but they don't look like they may look like you or kind of like you. But there's only one true you, who you are, and like you are who you are, and who you are is amazing, no matter what anybody says. If a bully comes up to you and tells you you are worthless or nothing, you tell them that I am who I am, and I'm proud to be who I am. I am not worthless. I am not nothing. I am a happy person. I'm a joyful person, and you can't shoot me down. You can't infect me with your bulliness. With your negativity, we'll say negativity. You can't infect me with your negativity, because I am a strong, confident, creative, happy person, and there is nothing you can do to stop that. I wish I had done that before, but I just didn't have the confidence. I was young. I was scared. I was alone since junior infants. But I got used to that. But now I'm in secondary school in first year, and it's been 5 years. I'm now more confident, and I have people I can trust. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.